Hey everybody! We're going to be
What's
talking
up?
about your favorite subject today. You guys are going crazy over the AI and thumbnails and how we create them. Joe's here. He's going to be teaching us a bunch of stuff because he knows more than most of us do, honestly. Hello, Mr. Joe Eves. How you doing?
I am excellent. How are you doing, Kristina?
I'm so good I can't stand myself.
Good. Hey, look at that. We got 10 people watching already. Can you believe that? That's pretty great.
I know. It's because of you. And this is a very important topic.
It's not because of me.
Well, let me show you what started the whole thing. So this, let me show you this crazy thing. So this started the whole entire conversation. Was this this image right here? I posted it because Bill Olson and Malcolm Lawson on one of their Zoom calls started talking about how they've been using AI to make thumbnails. And so I'm like, well, show me, because once you show me something, then I can do it, right? So I started playing with it. And I know that you had told me about AI before and everything. And I was like, well, every time I make an image with it, it looks stupid. I wasn't really getting into it like I should have. And so when Bill and Malcolm were talking about it, I'm like, that looks like a lot of the images I already make for my thumbnail. So it wouldn't be too far out of line for my avatar.
Right.
So I started plugging in, and what I did first. Well, I'll show you how to make it later on. But let's talk about your thumbnail and like the whole thing. You tell us about AI, ChatGPT 4. What do you need? How can people start making thumbnails like this?
So that's a really good question. I think the first thing to understand is that you can't just have the free version of ChatGPT. That's running on ChatGPT 3.5, and it's great for dialogue. It's great for information, but you're really not able to use plugins. You're not able to search live internet, to do a ton of research, because it's limited. But if you're using the paid version, which is ChatGPT Plus, then you get access to more features. And not everyone, even if you are a Plus user right now, not everyone has access to create custom GPTs. And I'll get into that a little bit. But basically, AI, OpenAI has come up with this idea that rather than them coming up with all the great ideas for ChatGPT, they broke it off and have these custom GPTs that allow people to train a GPT to do whatever it wants. So, like the prompt that you give and all of that stuff, it's not, you don't have to use code language or anything. That it's really, they rely on like how you and I are talking. You talk to the machine or to the AI, just like you and I are talking right now. But what you can do in these custom GPTs is you can actually give it information, and the more information you give it and you have it add that to its knowledge base, then it uses those things to apply it. So when people, and I've been using this stuff for a while, so I had early access to the custom GPTs. I've had early access to all of the and not even from everyone, but I've been using ChatGPT pretty much since it came out, because I was like, this is going to change everything. But what I found is that it's not super consistent. When you ask it to give something, it would do like a 1:1 aspect ratio. The images don't always look the same or that. And so what I started doing is taking the information that you and I already teach in our course about like how to design a good thumbnail, the aspect ratio, what the size should be, those types of things. And I created a custom GPT, and the custom GPT is called, it's a super creative name, thumbnail designer. So it's super generic, but it has a ton of information in this custom GPT, from artists to cameras to brush strokes to famous house photographers to famous portrait takers, information that I have given it and slowly fed it. So a lot of what happens when you design a thumbnail is in GPT, the aspect ratio is off, right? And it doesn't have it like 16 by 9. And so in this GPT, what I end up doing is tell it on every single image, I want it to have the specific aspect ratio. And then I don't know if you've noticed this too, but there's when you have a chat and then you leave and then you come back, like there's drifting. So like it doesn't remember everything that you've talked about and everything.
Correct.
So this does because it's specifically for just creating thumbnails. And then there's another thing that you can do when you're building the GPTs. There's what's called a Gen ID, and what this Gen ID is when you create an image, DALL-E 3 actually gives it a number. And this Gen ID, if you use that and then you ask it to make tweaks with that in mind, then you can change stuff in the graphic without changing the whole graphic. So the whole graphic doesn't change. So
Right.
it's incredible what you can do. So what I did with this custom GPT is I said, make it always a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. Now, sometimes it's going to be bigger than 1920 by 1080, but it's always going to be in that 16 by 9 aspect ratio. And then the other thing that I have it do is always provide the Gen ID so that if they find something they like, they can go back in without having to find the prompt, and they can just copy that and then just say make a slight adjustment. So it's
So
pretty cool what you can do.
so this thumbnail designer that you made, is this open to anybody to use, or is that something that somebody's going to have to pay for?
So that's a good question. Let me see what I did. I can't even remember. so so the way that you can do this is you can have it private for yourself. You
Uh-huh.
can have it open to anyone with a link, and then you can have it open to the whole world. And so
Okay.
right now, what I'm doing is, because I'm still kind of tweaking and training it, I even made some updates today on it, that
Uh-huh.
it's anyone that has that link, and if they're watching and they're in the group that you and Malcolm started,
Uh-huh.
that link is in there.
Can I put
So
it in the
they
chat?
can what's that?
Can I put it in the chat for everybody?
Yeah, go ahead. They can access it. Right there. And then eventually what I will do is I'll put it open for everyone. Like,
Mhm.
so, because I think what OpenAI is going to do is they're going to have their own like custom GPT store where
Mhm.
you can use, you know, kind of like plugins where you can use other GPTs. And their
Kinda like an
reason
app
for
store.
doing this, kind of like an app store. And then
Mhm.
as a creator, I think what they'll do is say, hey, if you have something that people like and they're using it, we'll let you participate in some of the revenue sharing. So it could be really, really cool. But the exciting thing is how quickly you can make a realistic image off of what we think about, because sometimes it's trying to find these images to then design and put together, and it's frustrating and time consuming. So this is to like totally assist you in creating killer thumbnails, and elements for those thumbnails and save you time. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, because as you
So,
know, finding images that are, copyright free, that you're not gonna get in trouble with the Googleverse, like,
yep,
trying to find those, it ends up being the ones that are free. It's like every real estate agent under the sun has this one blue
has
house with the
used them.
orange. They used it,
Yep.
like, everybody has the same images because they end up being free. So, this will allow you to have your own, like, custom made images that look really nice, sharp, and really great for your thumbnails. And as bad as you think, like as bad as it is today, or as good as it is today, this is still the worst version of Chat GPT images that
It's
you'll
just gonna
see.
get better and better.
Every day, every hour that goes by, it's learning, it's training, it's in the whole practice section of life, so as bad, because I used this a year ago. I used Dolly a year ago, and it was literally trash. Like the
Yeah,
eyeball would be over
totally
here,
different now.
the fingers would be like alien fingers, and it was just so bizarre, so bizarre. We even did one, we even were playing around with it, Joe and I were, and we did one where I said, make an image about the housing market crash in Salvador Dali's style, and it did it. It literally
Yeah.
did it. with the melting clocks and the whole 9 yards. It was very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
I do want to show you one other thing too. Even Joe showed this thing. It was so funny to me. Hold on. Oh, not this. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, I'm gonna figure it out, Joe. I swear I know what I'm
Come
doing.
on.
There we go. We did it.
Yay.
All right. So this is Joe. I put the link to this. This is the thumbnail designer, and you can put this in here. But the other thing that Joe made, which I think is so funny, is that you can make a cartoon yourself. So you pull up your image. Like I put my image in here. And I was like, okay, cartoon myself. And then it came up with this thing. And I was like, oh, that lady's looking mighty young. That isn't me. I was like, can you make it a little bit older? Give me this. I am a crispy looking lady. Crispy. And so I kept giving it messages. The cartoon yourself isn't good and getting it that good. To me, this looks like Mrs. Brady, for the Brady Bunch. But anyway, it got a little bit better as we played around with it, but not much. So I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that Joe made that too. Joe made that too.
Yeah,
But
and honestly, that's the same thing too. Is there's different style of caricature artists that I trained it off of. So if you actually say in the style of someone that you that makes these caricatures, and this is true with the thumbnail designer too, is it will actually take that style and influence the design, because it's trained also to search the internet. So it's not just a standalone thing. You could actually, in the thumbnail designer, say search search for a like a thumbnail that talks about the housing market crash with a tidal wave graphic, and like houses flooding, and then it will search the internet for stuff like that, and then it will generate a thumbnail off of that.
All right, can you see that I have it on the thumbnail designer?
Yeah, yep.
I put that in there. I'm just going to see what happens. Now, I know that recently there's been some delay in the ChatGPT. They've had some outages. So I just be patient. Like I said, today's GPT is the worst it's ever going to be. Every day gets a little bit better.
Yeah, they've just gotten so many people that have jumped onto this that
Yes.
they're just scaling the stuff, and their servers just get loaded.
So here's the Gen ID. So this is what people like really need to understand. So here's the ID. So say I liked this image, and the way that you work on the images now, most people just see it and they keep trying to change the prompts, and it changes the picture completely. So instead of it changing the picture completely, what I would do is I would copy this little thing right here, right? This information, and then I would say, what would I say with this?
I don't know, make the houses more realistic.
Okay.
Something simple.
Make the houses more realistic. Okay. And then I would say using this, Gen ID?
Yep.
And then
or you don't even have to say Gen ID. You could just say using this, and then you could just paste that in quotes.
Oh, I have to put it in quotes?
You don't have to. It just helps but that's fine.
Okay, let's just see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because the way you did the little program, it already gives you the Gen ID, which is really cool. So that way you can always tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, because if you did want to go get the prompt, you'd have to click on it, and then you have to hit the I, and then when you hit the I, then it opens up the prompt. You can copy that. It just takes extra steps.
Right. So this is it's almost there. I want to see what it comes up with. And then I'm going to explain how I made my specific thumbnail that everybody was really excited about. That caused all this. I mean, even Bill did an extra live stream on it. I think Malcolm's talked about it several times. I've seen more posts about people making more images with the AI, which is really good because a lot of people are just not designers,
Right.
They're just not designers. So it changed it a little bit. It doesn't look the same as the other one, but I like the way this one looks because the waves look better.
So one of the things that if you want it to be identical, and it's not going to be identical like yet, it's still working
Uh-huh.
on it. But the more, so if you were to say something like, keep everything exactly the same, just
Okay.
make the homes look more realistic, like you have to give it very specific instructions, and then using that, it will
Mhm.
get closer. But again, even from the documentation that I could find, they're saying because it's AI, it's not going to be exact every single
Mhm.
time. But you can, if when you use that Gen ID, it's going to significantly help you keep it the same. So for example, if you had like a person that you made and you really like that person, but you
Mhm.
wanted him to wear a different shirt or something, then you
Mhm.
use the Gen ID, and then you could tell it to wear stuff that's different, and it will stay a lot closer.
It does have some issues though, like, because I said,
It's still learning.
it's still learning, but it's so much better than it was. Um, I'm just gonna like once this loads, I'll go back to the thumbnail that I made. But I had done one more. I wanted tape, like the tape in the center of the eyebrow glasses.
Mhm.
And it had it on his chin. It had it on his nose. I mean, it for some reason could not figure out where the glasses were. It still goes back to that original image. This one, it's kind of changing it. Yeah, this one looks more cartoony,
Right.
honestly. This one looks like a cartoon, like The Simpsons. And then this one looks a little bit less cartoony, but more realistic. And then this is the most recent one. This one even looks better though. How cool is that with the
Yeah, and
waves going through it?
yeah, and the thing is that as you get better at, asking it, and you don't have to speak in like this technical term, you just tell it, the more detail you can give it, the better it will be. Because you could say, like, show the homes in extreme detail, have these lights, the ambient light looking this color, so if you really want a specific thing that you want it to do, it will do it. You just need to spend the time to tell it what to do, and then tweak it from there. So there's a
Okay.
question from Lance. He says, "Is there any reliable data yet showing higher click-through rate using generated backgrounds?" It's not about that so much, I don't think, as it is catching, like, getting eye-catching images to stop the scroll.
Right. So everybody should be researching on YouTube to how to basically have a good uh an analysis of what's working on YouTube today as far as thumbnails are concerned. This is so new, especially in the real estate niche. I mean, I'm only seeing people just starting to use these in the last week or two. So we don't have enough. I mean, we need a good like month worth or 2 months worth of data to say, yeah, this is what's working with the AI images. I just started doing it on my live streams, and this isn't too far off on how I currently have made my thumbnails anyway. So it doesn't look so incredibly weird in comparison to what my previous content is. I have a
Right.
feeling, just like anything, it's going to get flooded. People are we're going to overuse it, but I mean, for the time being, it is what it is. I mean, to this day, fire still works as much as people hate it. Fire still works. So
Yep.
I want to show this is what I did. So I could not find the image perfect through Chat GPT. So what I did do was I took the original image that it gave me, which was it gave me these little houses with for sale signs. Okay. And then
Mhm.
it gave me this wave. The wave location wasn't great. So I moved the wave in the middle here so you could see like it wasn't great. So I moved it. I just kept layering it on. The picture of the old man I had to put in 3 times. So I said I need a picture of a grumpy old man turned to the right. Right? So it had an image and it was a black and white image. It was very cartoony. And then I said, I need a picture, like I need a more realistic picture of a grumpy old man facing to the right. And then he gave me this one and I loved it. I was like, okay, this is the guy. So it's just his image, right? But it cut off his hair, but I wasn't that mad about it. I could just make it bigger. Then I put
Right.
another wave down here, I put another wave to kind of hide where it was coming out here, so it wouldn't be so obvious. And then I added some more for sale signs. And then I added my own image on top. So I just like, you have to, the AI images are great, but I think once you start like layering them and create and making your more a creation on top of the creation, I think that's when the magic's really going to happen. That's my opinion.
And so let me ask you a question. So like when you did that to find the grumpy old man, how long did it take you to actually find one that you liked?
It was three times. I put it in the first time. It was not.
So like what, a minute?
Yeah, I mean probably a total of like a minute. Yeah, 2 minutes maybe.
Okay, so that, and I think that's kind of what we're talking about is if you were to scour the internet and try to find an image that you could use, that it would take longer than a minute to find a grumpy person. Now, you could literally take that same grumpy person and change him to look exactly how you want if you understand the just how to talk to the to ChatGPT so that it understands what you want to do and tweak it. And so
Mhm.
you could do that so fast that your thumbnails, because now you're not trying to scour images. You're like, hey, how can I use these individual images? And then you have an idea of how you want the whole composition of the thumbnail to be, but now you're not having to waste time using stuff. And another thing I'd like to point out is when you use ChatGPT 4, and they're coming out with a 4 Turbo soon. And when they come out with those, and if you're using a paid subscription, you own the copyright to that image that's generated. It's not owned by ChatGPT. You actually get the copyright for it. So you're not going to run into copyright issues when you're uploading any of this stuff. They said even if you watch their keynote that they had, it was pretty incredible. They're like, if you end up in a lawsuit with copyright, we will come to bat for you. They basically were that confident that you're not going to have any copyright issues with their stuff. So
Right, because they're constantly changing
crazy.
and on top of it all, and then everybody's prompts are going to be different on top of that.
Exactly. And that's what they're talking about, is that you're training it to do it a certain way, and the way that you ask it, that's what makes these so unique. And that's why these Gen IDs are so important, because every single one of them are new.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but I'm enjoying playing with it, and I think it is something that everybody should be playing with now. And next year it's even going to get better. And the people that, I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than paying all these different services, one for specific fonts, one for specific pictures, one for arrows. I mean, at one time I had like 4 different types of programs just to make a thumbnail, to make it to the level I wanted to make it at. It took forever, right? Because I was trying to find specific images to add to my thumbnails. And to be able to do this on ChatGPT is amazing. One more prompt that everybody like should know about, just keep this in the back of your head. What I did the first time I ever made one of these thumbnails was I said to ChatGPT, I need an image that conveys this title for a video. Can you make an image that would show this without using any words or people? And then it came out with that's how it came up with the image in the background with the wave. Because I said, can you make an image for the silver tsunami that, and I gave it the exact title I was going to use for the live stream on this coming Sunday. And then it created that. I was like, oh, look at that. Look at that.
yeah.
So I was able
So
to
it's a great way to bounce ideas.
Right. Yeah. And it's a great way to flesh out ideas. So even if, let's just say, ChatGPT gave you something, but it really wasn't quite right, but you think that you can find an image, a real image that would work for that, then yeah, now you have your little creativity hat on. And so it helps you flesh out ideas for all sorts of things, not just images. I love it for that, because a lot of times I can't think clearly enough. So I just keep putting it in ChatGPT, and then it kind of spits out what I needed to hear. And I'm like, okay, now I got it.
Right.
Now I got it. So it's like, it is my little, people always say, do you need a virtual assistant? I'm like, yeah, I have one. It's ChatGPT. It's very, very
Right.
inexpensive.
Yeah, for the
Very.
time that you spend and for the things that it can do for you, it's honestly, it's so easy. And the thing is you don't need to know any coding, you don't need to know any programming. It's language. You just talk with it and it will update, for that. And so like that's why I like this so much, is because you don't have to, like, a lot of the stuff, even though it's like, hey, I could ask it to do all these things. There's certain things that are repetitive that I just didn't want to keep asking it. So that's why putting that custom GPT made a lot of sense, is because then I didn't have to ask it to always do 16:9. I didn't have to ask it for the Gen ID. I didn't have to ask it to be in a specific format, or whatever. So it really does make you, when you're flushing ideas
Faster.
out and everything and you have it, you can download it and put it right in whatever editor you're using to, to enhance and make your thumbnail even that much better.
Yeah. And I think that is still the key. You have to have really good images of yourself too, you know?
Right.
And this isn't going to like replace researching to find the best ideas for your thumbnails. I just happen to do it with the title because on live streams I don't use the same kind of title or the same kind of thumbnail, but what I do on my thumbnails for my live streams is I use the same expression. Like that picture of me on that thumbnail is the same
It
picture
works.
of me every single week because it works. So I just use it every live stream. People are used to seeing that face. The way it was like, oh, I don't even know why. It's dumb, but they like it, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, it's changing, it's getting better, but I think the thing that's awesome is that, like you said, it's great for flushing ideas out. It's great for designing things that maybe you hadn't even thought of, and giving you visuals to where it's like, oh wow, like okay, I can do that. It's not going to replace like your going and finding out what thumbnails you think are going to perform and what titles and all of that, but it definitely can help you think, instead of like just going, oh, I think it's good. It's almost like what you're saying is bouncing ideas off of uh, you know AI for it to give you a better, a better result. So I
I
love it. I it's been way too much time on it.
Yeah, I know. I have a tendency to play on it too much too. But I think it's really good too for people that are just starting out designing thumbnails because a lot of times they'll create a title and then they make a thumbnail and the two ideas don't match together. Like they have this weird expression that has nothing to do with the title. That, they just
Yep.
saw that it worked on another thumbnail on another thing and they'll add fire and they'll do all these things and I'm like, but this is the 5 best places. Why are you adding fire? Why do you look concerned? And like it doesn't connect. So I think that like
Yeah.
if you're new to this and you're not sure what imagery would really work for the titles that you've created for your videos, why don't you flush it into ChatGPT first just to see what imagery it comes up with? I always say if you can't figure out what the video is about within a few seconds, if they have to sit there and study the image to go, oh, okay, yeah, that's what it's about. Then you've made a crappy thumbnail. You really did.
Yeah, they should be able to, at a glance, give you at least a pretty good idea of a general idea of what the video is going to be about,
Yeah, yeah.
without any words on it.
Mhm. So somebody said check your DMs.
No,
Someone
he's probably trying to sell us an SEO package.
Yes, someone sliding into your D Oh, I think yeah, they are trying to sell us a
Yeah, it's
SEO
like, "Hey, we got the best keyword researcher and SEO for your YouTube
Barking up the wrong
channel," and then
tree.
they'll go like a bunch of videos and then try to get us to buy their SEO package.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lucas says
So
OpenAI
if any
has
of you guys get that, then you don't need to do that.
Oh, I didn't know if someone was sliding into your DMs giving you some cool messages.
Oh yeah, that's all I get these days is, I can help you with your researching best words for your Google and your
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
get some more Google juice with our keyword researcher.
We already got enough Google juice. So, but yeah, I think that's the thing. The other thing I did want to mention is,
Uh-huh.
on the one that I made, is it actually searches the internet. If you give it the prompt, search online for this, and then, make a thumbnail like that. So it will also look on what's online, not just off of the AI stuff. It'll actually pull data from the internet. So, and you don't even need to install a plugin for it. It's just part of that custom GPT, which is awesome.
It is awesome. Lucas said OpenAI has opened up access to ChatGPT 4 Turbo to all GPT plus users, meaning you can try the new model immediately. No wait list or sign up required for 2 days, as of 2 days ago. Yeah. I know that it's a struggle, right? And some people are like, oh, they've been using ChatGPT, but they didn't have the paid version. I got the immediately. As soon as they said, oh, there's a paid version, I'm like, sign me up. Sign me up.
Me
I was using
too.
it
Yep.
so often. I was like, I want to be the first one whenever new stuff comes out. I don't want to wait and be like, oh, I'll get it later when they have more stuff. I don't want to do that. Excuse me, I burped.
Yeah.
Mid conversation, just older people gas. I just went ahead and put the link to Joe's chat GPT maker right there. So I will say thank you, Bill and Malcolm, for discussing that, because I didn't even realize how incredibly exciting it was for everybody to know about it. And then once they showed it to me, I was hooked. And then when I showed everybody that thumbnail, boy, that became a hot topic. But you understand these AIs probably better than any other real estate agent I've met ever. Like, honestly, you're always the first one to try them. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
like I said, I've been using it for a while, and honestly, I it's so exciting what you can do with custom GPTs. So same thing. I got, like, as soon as they opened access and I heard about it, which I think was back in like February for me, which is crazy because it hasn't even been like a year, right? And so
Oh,
I got on, and then I've just, every day I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't believe it. And then when they opened that up and I watched the keynote, I was just like, oh, this is going to change. Like, everyone that's doing, that was on the, what's the internet, and oh, it's a fad, and oh, this and that. It's like, it's going, like, this is that time where AI is going to, it's going to disrupt a lot of industries, and real estate definitely could be one of them that it disrupts. And so if you're not learning how easy it is to use this technology and how easy it is to help you run your business, then you definitely need to get on and use it. Because people are like, well, I don't want to spend $20 a month. Okay, well, you could, like, I know we're talking to all things YouTube, but like, it can literally make a custom script for you analyzing videos that are in your niche, and you can then make a video off of that in 30 seconds. So time is money. So if you're like, I don't want to, and you have to sit down there and you're trying to flush an idea out for an hour, like, what's your hourly rate? Like, it's more than $20 an hour, I hope.
yeah.
So
Oh,
you can do so much with it.
so YouTube has come out with some YouTube policies when it comes to AI, and I think there's some
Yep.
big confusion when it comes to this. So, if you want to just go back to the creator, I think it's creator. What is that? What is that thing that YouTube has for? I forgot, but it's the creator news, creator insider. That's it, creator
Yeah,
insider.
Trader Insider, yeah.
Yeah, so they have a little spiel about it, but basically it's saying, like, if you are using AI, you have to disclose it. But what they're really, the thing that they're saying in it is, if you're going to use images of, like, let's just say you're going to use Barack Obama on top of your face where it looks like he's showing the house, that's a use of AI that you have to disclose. But if you're just taking a
Yep.
picture of a house and you're using AI to flip the house around or cut off part of the house to show the inside of the house so you see the bedrooms, that's not what they're talking about. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
any type of use, like, I've been in a couple groups, any use of AI, you're going to have to disclose it. I'm like, no, 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 that's not what they're talking about. Like, you can still use AIs to, like, show different features of a home. That's not what they're talking about. You're not changing the
Yeah.
structure of the home. You're just showing it in a different way. They're talking about, you can't use pictures of famous people and think you can get away with it, because
Yeah, it's going back to, like, using deep fake and all of these other
yes,
things that are used to have misrepresentation and to deceive. It's not that you can't do those things. It's just that they're going to say, hey, this is AI generated material, meaning that it's not real. And I think that's the distinction. The other thing that I could see, and I don't know if they'll do this or not, but I know Amazon does, is what they will do is they will ask you how much of this content was generated with AI. And so you could say, oh, I did this with AI or partial AI. What programs did you use? I did these things. And then it goes through no problem. Like I do
Oh
think, and
yeah.
it could be more for like them to like do discovery on like, okay, how much are our users using AI to help them create their content? So it's not that they're going to blacklist them or they're going to do something like that. I think it's more they're interested also in, I'm sure their AI, meaning YouTube's AI, can identify if it's, built from AI or whatever. But I think they're giving the user, the creator, the opportunity to disclose, hey, I'm just guessing this is probably down the path, but when you do, like, you acknowledge that you're authorized to use this, maybe it's like I'm a paid member with AI generation stuff and I have copyrights to it, but yes, I did use a portion of that. I could see something like that when you go to upload something.
Yeah, I think
So,
disclosure could be beneficial, like disclosure of any kind of, if they have like little checkbox, people do it, People will,
right,
if they
exactly.
give a little checkbox of, like, 1/3 of this was made with AI, and then you disclose the type of AI that you use. That makes
Yeah,
sense, honestly. And then that way, people don't feel duped because, like AI has duped a lot of people. I mean, people get
right.
phone calls in the middle of the night thinking it's their kid being kidnapped, and it's not. So if we could add those kinds of things in a video, so, you know, because I can see how, like, especially with products, like, this is the most
Right.
magic, pore eraser I've ever seen. The ones on TikTok always make me laugh. It's so obvious there's an edit in there, and then they put on, like, this massive blur filter, and it makes them look like a brand new baby. Like, they go
Yeah.
from having tons of blackheads, they rub this little eraser on it, and all of a sudden,
And then
it's
all of a
like
sudden their face is baby smooth. Yeah.
yeah, like a baby soft
Yeah.
focus pose, like, it's so powdery soft. I'm like, why do people buy into this? And you're thinking, why do they buy into it? But I think so many people are like, well, things are moving so fast. Technology is moving so fast. I just thought it would really work. So I guess that would make
Right.
sense if there would be some kind of disclosure. I get it. I get
Yeah.
it.
I mean, we'll see
TikTok's
what
a
they
worse
do. I would
one.
imagine that they will, but I mean, ultimately, I think, going back to kind of what we're talking about is like you can have the edge making thumbnails and helping you flush out ideas and getting script and stuff using AI to help expedite your process where other people may not be taking advantage of that. Maybe they're putting content out, but it's taking them 10 times longer to do it. So
Mhm.
there is a definite like use to to this, to say, hey, like, get in on it now, because like we always say this, is that we're marketers first. We do marketing and then we do real estate. And I think a lot of people have it backwards. They're like, no, I'm a realtor. I do real estate. I don't market. And it's like, wait, you have to market. If you're a realtor, like how else do you get, how else do you get your name out? How else do you help your clients, all that kind of stuff. And so that to me is really, really important to understand that, hey, if you understand that you're a marketer first and you go to listing appointments and you tell them, how you're using technology to help them, you don't think that's going to help you, you know, close more deals? I think it definitely does.
Absolutely. But I
So
think there's always that confusion because real estate agents are like, "Well, how will this bring me more leads? How is this going to bring me more leads? This is all toys and games. I don't have time for this. I just want to get more leads." And you're looking at it backwards, because if you looked at it at a marketing perspective and focused your time on that, the leads would come in because you have a good marketing strategy. That's why you should be a
yeah,
marketer first.
yeah,
Especially seasoned agents at this point, how to sell real estate, but you got to get that phone to ring. And in order to get that phone to
yeah.
ring, you have to understand, no matter what you say. I mean, I've been doing this for years. I never needed social media or marketing. Don't be that person. That's so ignorant, especially in today's world. Everybody's got their freaking phones in their hand. They're using it more for everything. So find a
Yeah.
way, have a social media strategy, find the one social media site that you can spend a lot of time on it, and then you should be marketing on there and marketing correctly. And that does not mean posting your team's picture of how many homes they sold. That does nothing for you or for your clients. Nobody cares. You're just tooting your own horn to make you feel good. Stop it. Sorry,
Yeah,
we're on a
I do.
tangent there
Yeah,
for a
no, well, I
minute.
agree 100%. And I think that that's the thing is just like, and maybe it was, hey, I'm scared. I don't know how to edit this, or I don't know how to structure it, or I don't know how to do something. That's what AI does, is it assists you in that, and it helps you, do those things that maybe you didn't know how to do before. Like, it's like, oh, I didn't know how to do this, or I didn't want to spend the time doing it, and now you learn it. So, and
Mhm.
that's why I think it's so important. And that's kind of a big thing of what Kristina and I, we're believers in sharing the knowledge that we have and having that information out for everybody. And that's why we have our course, is we have all of this stuff that we're talking about, and we go into a lot more depth and detail of what makes a good title, what makes a good thumbnail, what's a good anatomy of a video. And it really, really, matters if you understand to do that. And it's not so, oh, I don't want to be a YouTuber, I want leads. Well, that's what we're teaching you, is that if you'll do it right, you can get leads and you can get referrals, and you can be busy. You're learning a new skill and adding more value to your clients, and it helps you get more business.
I can.
Did you see how I did a little plug for our course right there?
That was smooth. That was smooth, smooth, smooth. But I know that everybody loves the idea and the discussion of AI, but there's a lot of people that have been waiting to hear from.
Look at
waiting to hear
Nate. Nobody,
Nate.
100%. Nobody cares. Just sold.
Yeah, nobody cares. Just sold. Nobody cares. I think to me the weirdest posts, and people will argue with me about this, but I can't stand it, is that when somebody says, they post like, giving my keys to another client, just closed another one. Nobody, like, heart surgeons don't go, just cracked open another chest, got some hearts moving, like, it's so stupid to me. Like so,
Oh.
lawyer isn't like, just threw another one in jail. Yep. Hashtag lawyer life. Like, why do we
Well,
do this?
you know why they're doing it. They're trying to make all the other realtors jealous. That's the only people that are watching it anyways, is all the other agents. So it's like,
And,
oh,
and
look
then
what I did.
and then they always justify it. They're like, I got a call from that post. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I know you are lying. Lying.
Oh,
Anyway. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. This is what people really want to hear and see, is the
yeah.
channel reviews.
We got some channel reviews.
We're cranking out some channel reviews today. All right, here we go. We got Collective Arizona with Judy Collins and Kelsey Machachis. Oh, I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong. Sorry.
Macias?
Macias.
I
Okay,
don't know.
so I'm gonna give you a quick thing, really quick, because we gotta breeze through these because we got 15 minutes. So,
Yeah.
right here, this just changed. We have to change it on our own banner, by the way, Joe. Is in the
Yeah.
last month they took off all the little icons at the bottom of your channel banners. So just take this thing that says search for homes. Don't do that. You don't need it, because honestly, this is what happens: is the first link that you use for your sponsored links is the one that's going to show up right here on the front page. So I would be very selective on the type of link that you're going to use as your first link, and I would make it your landing page, because the about section is now right here in the front. Joe, you want to
Yep.
say anything?
Yeah, I know they're doing Arizona and Home Smart. If you're gonna put that, maybe move it over a little more. It's really small and hard to read. So if you are gonna have
Yeah.
your brokerage on there, just move it over and make it a little bit bigger. Other than that, I think it's fine.
Yeah, their
So I
images are
mean, you get
really
out.
cute.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing. It's clean.
Uh-huh. Yep. And they look nice, and I'm glad they showed their pictures of themselves. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. All right, let's take a look at their videos really quick. All right. Skylight Ranch Community, Crimson Height Community. So I guess they're community tours. Is that what I'm getting at? Yeah,
That's
they're
what it looks
community.
like. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. All right, just really quick because we're going to jump to the next one. I would try to see if you could, and you've probably heard this, and I've heard it at real estate conferences. They're like, people don't have a don't have a attention span. So make sure that your videos are like less than 2 minutes. That is not the case on YouTube. People have now like replaced their television for watching YouTube content. And so start thinking of your community tours like a television show. That's what I would tell you, because I don't think 1 minute and 28 seconds is enough. What do you say,
Yeah, they
Joe?
should be. Agreed. A lot of home tours are in like 18, 19, 20 minutes long. So, I mean, at least 8.5 minutes long, if not a little longer.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at the home tours, if they're doing home tours, I know they're on their thumbnails on every one of them, but I would look and do some research to see what home tours are doing well. And if the thumbnail doesn't have them on it, like take yourself off. And usually home tours will have the number of like what the home is going to sell for and a really, really gorgeous picture of the home. And in that skyline / roof line of the house is the purchase price. And that's literally it. And then the title then says, inside this luxurious, neighborhood or blah, blah, blah. Like they don't have agents standing, in the thumbnail or on the thumbnails for a lot of these home tours. So I'd say
Yeah.
maybe try one of those without it. And then definitely go longer. Most of them are like a minute or a little under 2 minutes.
I said the longest one I've seen is just over 4 minutes. So I think you just do better if you work on the length of your videos and just a few things. Work on the length of your videos, make sure that they're longer. I would remove your images, like Joe said, remove the images of yourself. Thirdly of all, I'd look for simplifying your titles. I think your titles are good because they have a lot of inside, top family, touring. Like, I think your titles are pretty good. I just think you need to work on those thumbnails. You don't need your image on there.
Yeah.
On the thumbnails. You just the price, the price and the house done. You're going to simplify your life that way too. So,
Well, the other thing too, really quickly, is if you are going to do, with that, have some really like vibrant colors and contrasting colors. Like the sky almost blends in on that skylight ranch. It almost blends in with the house. Like that should be like a blue, blue, blue sky. And, then the house should be, like a lighter color, and then the price. It will make the thumbnail pop so much more.
well, since it's like RV garages and large lots, I would have like literally taken all of those words off of there, opened the garage, and showed the RV in the garage. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, especially it looked like for a second that one had like a sports car or something in there. Having that show as well would be cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe it's their car.
Well, we gave some good tips. All right, let's share this one instead. Eigler Homes for Sale. All right. Their channel banner is pretty basic. It doesn't really have a value proposition for the consumer watching it. I don't actually hate it, but I don't love it either. And then I really don't like the profile picture. Your profile picture should be a human being. What do you have to say, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's small for one, so like get rid of like if you like that your logo or whatever, put that on there, but the buy, sell, own, that's small. I can hardly see it. And then the blue with the dark gray, it's hard to read. So you'd want it to be something that pops more. And it looks like you have a picture of the house, which is of your logo. So maybe just use the picture or something
Right.
like that. But and then on your profile picture, is it a team, or is it is it
That's
one
what I was just
person?
gonna say. Like, so just from this right here, this is our first impression. I don't know if this is a real estate office. I don't know if this is for a real estate agent. I don't know what you're selling. Is this for new construction? Is this about relocation? Is this about a specific area? What is this about? Like, I can't tell just from this. And that's
Right.
you got to think of it that way. Someone landing on your page, they should be able to know what your channel is about just by looking at this, then this alone. And there's nothing there that says what it is.
Right.
Is a builder? I mean, I almost think this was a builder, honestly. I don't know. All right,
Yeah.
let's
It's hard to know.
mhm. Okay. This is um I'm trying to figure out what kind of content strategy they're doing. So it looks like they're kind of all over the place right now.
They're doing spaghetti against the wall strategy.
Right. It looks like they're kind of new though. So this is what I tell you. If you're going to do home tours, become a home tours channel. If you're going to do real estate education about your area or anything about real estate, like that kind of stuff where you're doing talking head stuff, then stick with that. But when you're mixing it in with home tours and then you're, putting in some of your listings and then you're doing little talking heads and then you're talking about house flipping and then you're talking about, the local pumpkin patch, that's like it's too much.
Go on that Halloween one. I wonder if he paid to boost that one. He's got 12,000 views.
It has to have been. I mean, like, there's no way.
Is there any comments on it?
No.
So.
No.
Yeah, so it was some kind of boost or promoted post.
All right, schedule a call here. I want to hear if I want to see if oh, look, they have a good landing page. But I want to tell you this, though. If you're going to use this as a landing page, you see your image right here. And it doesn't matter if this is for a thumbnail, for a banner, or anything. It was a picture that was taken that it was cropped right here where it cuts off your arms. And that
on both of them. So it's like you took it with your phone or something and then you didn't finish it.
And I don't know why this burns my rear end so bad, but it looks so bad. That's why
I think that's why. I think it's because it doesn't look professional. Well, we're telling them so they can adjust it.
So many people don't see that. I'm like, do you not see that you just look like floating heads? Like that, like somebody took a pair of scissors and cut you. Like, can you not see that? I don't know. Just like, and you're not the only one. I'm not picking on. Oh yeah, I'm picking on you, but you're not the only one who does this. Like, lots and lots and lots of people do it. And then, like, all you have to do is stretch it out. Just make yourself bigger, and then where it doesn't show the little box part, it looks so much better. You don't look like a Lego person. I'm not making fun of Lego people, by the way. All right. So yeah, so I would try to work on a content strategy for your channel. Like, are you a relocation channel? Are you a new construction channel? Are you what is it that you're wanting to convey in your channel? Because right now it's all over the place. That would be my big advice. What do you say, Joe?
Yeah, just a good content strategy. Really decide what it is, what niche you want to go after, and then focus on that.
I concur, good friend. I concur. All right, we're going to share this tab instead. Okay. Mike Kohler, he's a realtor. All right. Look, he's got a little skyline of New Jersey. I don't hate it. I don't hate this. Even though he doesn't have any value proposition on it, I don't hate it. What do you have to say, Joe?
It's a little dark, but I know it's kind of the sunset. So it like, if you could enhance the color a little bit more, it'd be cool. Or even like a nighter, like the skyline at night, but it's fine. It's definitely easy to understand that, there's housing, apartments, condos, that kind of stuff.
Yep. I'm going to tell you something, Mike. Get all of this let's connect thing. First of all, you're not a Lego. Secondly of all, you're wanting them to connect on Facebook for what? For Instagram, for what? LinkedIn, for what? Why do you want to connect them there? To like your posts? That isn't going to do you any good. The only thing you really want somebody to do is call you. And all you should have on there is the landing page for someone to get a hold of you. Just like that other, this one right here. Look, this is the link that they had. It was just to this. It told them exactly what they needed to do. And they made it very simple. Are you interested in buying, selling, or both? Like, what you want? Well, what you want?
Yeah.
And this is going to capture their information. Putting all this other stuff on here, and everybody does this because they're like, oh, I want them to know I'm on, all these other social media sites. People that watch YouTube aren't watching TikTok. Very few, unless they're really young. Very like people that are on Facebook aren't typically on Instagram. Like my mom and dad don't know what Instagram is. They're not on there. You gotta remember, like if you're gonna take them off of YouTube, have a reason for them to do that. And the only reason they should be doing that is if they're trying to contact
call you.
Just to call you. So get all this other stuff off of here. Yep. I love this sell a home, save a pet. Love that. Hey, he's done pretty good. Started in 2021, almost 100,000 views.
Yeah, that's great. Let's see his content.
Let's take a look. See, look a loo. All right, condo walkthrough. W Hotel Hoboken condos.
His content's really short too. If you added more, like over 8.5 minutes.
I love that he's doing content on
condos.
Nobody does them. Like honestly, his older thumbnails really aren't really saying anything. This just looks like I'm gonna be honest, it looks like a business Fiverr card. Yeah, it's like a Fiverr. This is a Fiverr. This is the template that Fiverr has made you a thumbnail. That's what I say. I would just kind of study what other people are doing a little bit more. You don't need all these words on here. Just some basics of thumbnails. Like if you're going to use a picture of your face, typically we'd say you want to use 1/3 of the thumbnail as your face on the thumbnail. The imagery should be very easy and simple to read with very few words on it. You've got lots and lots of words on here. If you're using the
logos, all of that stuff.
Yeah, the logos and all the stuff, you don't need any of that garbage, honestly. And then, just make sure that the title isn't repeated on the thumbnail itself. It's not necessary. If you're showing condos, just show the condo. You don't need to have all this other stuff on here because you already look. So you literally wrote the same words of the condo on the thumbnail about condos as the title. You don't need that. It's not necessary. What do you have to say, Joe?
Go up just a little bit on that video real quick, on the other videos.
Well, which videos are we talking?
That one right there. I just wanted to that one. So he's doing a picture-in-picture tour?
No, he just has his head floating there. It's
on the other. Oh, sorry, on the next one over. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's talking about it or whatever. But look at the views on that. So we got 2,500 views, and then the other one was just a static picture. So you might have something right there with your walkthrough tours of you talking while you're doing it. Like it obviously got way more. The thumbnail is better too. So there's not really that much different. But if that's getting there's patterns, and so what you did is you did something that got more views. You want to replicate that if that's what you're going to continue to do.
I'm wondering if it's an ad. He's got over 2,000 views and not one comment.
No comments. Usually you'll have some engagement or likes, or he's got 3 likes. So yeah, that might be promoted.
Yeah. Something's not a little fishy. All right.
It's still the same thing though. Like you still should be testing your thumbnails out and looking at analytics to see, if something does pop off, like you may have done it by accident, but there's a pattern. And if you can go and figure it out, then it'll help you get more views.
Yeah. Yeah. And the only reason we kind of I want to tell everybody about ads. Here's the deal. And we're not pooping on on ads. There's a time and a place for ads. But if you're trying to, all I want is some recognition, or oh, I just really feel like this video gets what it deserves, and you throw some money against it, and like, oh, I got lots of views. That isn't even, you're just throwing money against nothing. You're basically taking money and throwing it down the toilet. You're not, you don't have the good objection for what there's no plan to what you're doing. You're just trying to get more numbers where it looks better for your channel. It's not doing you any benefit. Don't throw your money away for that. I mean, it's silly.
Yeah, or you could make good content that people want to watch, and then you get the views, and you didn't have to pay for it. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's stuff you can do.
Yeah. Coachella Valley, California Living says, thank you guys for all the great tips. I've been going through around putting content out for a while, but with AI, there's no excuses. Yeah. But you can't, you're still going to have to do some planning, that, and like everything with what we're telling as far as channel reviews, it's a lot of it has to come down to content strategy. And even like the little things like the thumbnails and the banners and all that stuff, if people would think of their content strategy first when they created their channels, then a lot of these tips wouldn't even be necessary because they put that person first.
Right. And that's kind of what we talk about is understanding the viewer. And if you can put yourself as the viewer and be like, well, what is it that, that they would want? Not what I want, because a lot of people are like, well, I want this to be like this, and I want it to look great, and this is what I want it to do. And then they get no views and they're mad. And they're like, the algorithm hates me. YouTube hates me because they're not showing me any love. But really what they need to do is they need to find, what is working and put that into their content strategy, and then you will get views, and you will get people that comment and engage, because you're providing value, and you've done it in a way that is exciting and creates communication, and sometimes an even complete a little bit of argument, a little bit of, well, I don't agree with that or this or that, and it gives you an opportunity to educate, which is awesome, because when you get people commenting on your videos, then more people comment on your videos, and then it just kind of, it will get you a lot more views.
I concur, Joe Eves. We had some other channels came in, but they didn't leave their YouTube link to their channel, and then one of them left their channel name, but I couldn't find their channel under the channel name. So if you filled out a form and we didn't pull you up on the screen, it's not like we're trying to make you feel bad or we're ignoring you.
Yeah, we're not dodging you.
Yeah, we're not dodging you. It's just that we didn't get all the information, so we could put your channel up on the screen. So you're more than welcome to put in one for next week, because we're here every Thursday. But if you even want more information from Joe Eves and I, boy, do I have the place for you. This is where you need to go, right here. The realestatevideogeeks.com. Check it out. We actually have a course. You're more than welcome to join the course. We're on week 3 now, this week, or 2?
Yeah, 2. But we can't see the screen. You got to share it.
I hate it. I said I put it there. What happened?
You got everybody all on edge, and they're all excited, and then
I don't think no one's ever excited about what I have to say. Oh, okay. This was okay, so you can join the course. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, now we can see it. I did a good job. All right, you can just join it right here. Right here. Join the course. Really exciting stuff. Everybody's doing it. Why is it stuck on this page? I feel like I'm losing my mind, Joe Eves.
Look, I don't know.
If you guys are nervous and you want to ask a question, but you're watching this on the live stream and you're like, I want to ask a question, but I'm afraid to ask, or I'm afraid people in my market might see me, just go ahead and fill this out. We won't put your name on the screen, but just go ahead and fill this out. Or you can, if you have a channel.
But we will answer your question.
We will. And then if you want a channel review, like a in-depth channel review, we do those too. You just can book a call with us. And since we're good pals with Malcolm Lawson, you can even set it up right here. Malcolm Lawson's on the screen as well. So, all right, Joey, you want to add anything to this, my friend?
No. Well, one thing, if you had anything holding you back as far as doing thumbnails, design, mess around with that GPT, and I think your eyes will be open to how easy it is to do things. And it does a lot more than just thumbnail designs, but that's just one cool thing that you can start doing to enhance your business. And it takes next to no time at all once you understand how to ask a couple questions, and you don't need to be cryptic about it. You can literally just tell it to do it. Oh yeah, let's see this one. I love this one that you did.
Yeah, so I just said, I put in there, I said, I need an image of a home in a bubble to reflect the housing bubble. And then it came up with this. And then I said, I need an image of a home in a bubble to reflect the housing bubble. And can this have a skyline that looks like it's on fire? Because we all know fireworks.
Fire.
So it came up with this. And I was like, that is the bomb diggity bomb. Like, I loved it.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do now.
Come on, everybody's doing it. Don't you want to do it? Everybody's doing it. Sound like an after school special, right?
All right.
Come on, Joe. You got to try it.
Well, man. I think that we've answered some questions, and like Kristina says, we're here every week. So if you want a channel review, fill out the free channel review form. We will give you a channel review, and obviously do whatever we can to help you guys succeed on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Gonna dance it out. You gonna dance?